So before the video starts, let's go over this new feature which YouTube has implemented. They are giving creators new shortcuts or ways that you can actually, as the viewer, get to their content. And because they gave me absolutely terrible one, I decided to change it. So now if you go onto YouTube and type in max_NYPW, you will be able to come across my content specifically. So this way you will be able to see what I'm currently up to and potentially even consider what you might watch, because I kind of do need the views. And you can do this with all caps, but unfortunately without the underscore and the just gap it will not work, as you can see. So that's gonna be it. I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day and let's enjoy the video. Oh, what's new? Version 1.1. A major update is implemented requiring changes to saved and load systems. As a result, the branch to version 1.0 has created some issues. However, apparently the new features should appear and allow us to have functions such as being able to remove those pesky tunnels and elevators and have different difficulties of game. So theoretically, so far it seems we had only the hard level allowed because we had only the 45 days to work with. So we could theoretically work with like a medium level, which would give us even more days to potentially mine out resources, establish some proper production, and so on and such. And because I'm a total asshole and I really like the game mechanics and just the basic game concept, I was thinking maybe we can try again with the 1.1 version and see if this time, with all the skills and knowledge I have been able to acquire so far, I might be actually able to create a new base and maybe improve. Also, it's also potentially a good idea for me to not make the review as of yet if such a major update has been released, as so far, yeah, I would not recommend the game before the 1.1 version was released. That is if they also fixed some of the bugs, because remember, the bugs were quite annoying. So we're gonna jump into a brand new game, and I was thinking maybe we will go with the medium difficulty so that I would have more time to set up everything and I would not rely just on the stupid boxes of grenades to actually do everything for me and actually, like, you know, rely just on this stuff. So first of all, what I want to try is, if I speed up the game, yeah, the camera still stuck to the top, so they have not fixed it. That's incredible. That is just pissing me off, but okay. Let's jump into the building option. Holy crap, that's a lot of copper, lots of iron. Looking for coal and other deposits and potentially some uranium so that we know how far to build up. So if we were to go through here, there's actually quite a massive coal deposit, massive gold deposit, stone deposit. And we would have to dig through the copper. I'm not sure how much of a fan of that I am, to be honest with you all. So if we were to build an elevator and make it down here, then tunnel, and down here, we would still have to shimmy around between all these resources. But okay, so if I were to build the elevator like this, we can go build the tunnel here, and we can potentially then build the elevator after we are done with the tunnel down here. So tunnel, elevator. This way we have dug ourselves enough of a deep hole to get to all the necessary resources. I'm guessing eventually they might implement some sort of feature which will only allow you to at first dig into certain depth, and then you will need to have access to different technology in order to access the other resources as well. Then we're gonna go with the water pump. After the water pump, we're gonna implement the power generator. And we're gonna keep on building those up here. We're gonna put the command post down below the major warehouse, and we're gonna do the science research center somewhere in here too, so that we can eventually be building the infrastructure for production up here, because that's a lot of space above the copper deposits and the iron deposits. There's actually quite a lot of iron as is. We have coal fairly accessible here, iron as well. Stone, we're gonna have to dig our way a little bit away from the elevator, but it's gonna be a-okay. Gold, there's plenty of it. Coal, there's plenty of it. So depending on our need, we're gonna be able to adjust where we are gonna put what. And now we need to build the command post. And once the command post is done, we're gonna build the research center. So let's make it here. And therefore, we're gonna be able to start researching mining and building the excavation for the resources. I just still don't understand why the hell do I need to like do mining as a research, since we are literally mining into the mountain in order to build the elevators and all this nonsense. So really weird, but okay. Let's go with mining. Then we're gonna go with the mine. After that, I'm not sure if we can like queue up research. Doesn't seem to be the case. So tunnel production. Once we have the research done, we have to wait here. We're gonna be able to start excavating. So we're gonna start off with coal. We can do iron. We're gonna definitely require stone. So theoretically we can do a tunnel through here, so at least it has time to get to the resource. So production, a mine can go 200. Let's build it down here. Okay, something is screwy with the camera. I'm not sure what's up. It's a little bit annoying. Iron can be obtained here. Gold. Yes, great. Let's go with the iron. And copper can be obtained up here as well. So there's plenty of resources for us to tap into. Just have to keep in mind that if the mine goes empty and all the deposits have been extracted, we have to first take away all the people before we are able to demolish it. Otherwise, we can lose the workers. Totally stupid mechanic, but that's the way the game works. So we're gonna respect the creative process. Okay, so quarters we don't have access to, so research. We can go with the production. And we're gonna have to first wait for these initial resources to be extracted so that we can get coal, we can get copper, we can get gold, and we can get iron. So all of these will have to be obtained. We have accommodated 5 people to copper, 5 to coal, 5 to iron, and 5 to stone. And we're gonna need to build another power generator and another water where is it, water pump, so that these numbers don't reach 0, because afterwards when your resources have been depleted, you will suddenly find yourself not being able to produce anything else. Production, cement plant is gonna be the first big thing which we're gonna require, so let's accommodate it. We're gonna have to, of course, also accommodate people to man the station. But first of all, we're gonna have to wait a little bit for these resources to get in. Again, getting stuck to the top of the mountain is gonna be freaking annoying as hell. Really don't understand why this is a big problem, but okay. Let's remove people from copper, from iron, and from stone, so that we have even from coal. So the one thing which I'm not mining right now is gold. So we have 4 workers for this production, so that we can actually process the crushed stone. And once we get the research, we're gonna be able to start making cement. So we need to research fabrication. Then we can go with like quarters so that we gain access to more workers. So copper is going to be used. Because we are not mining out gold, we cannot really do science. So we are going to be forced to build the shelter. So after this is done, quarters is the next thing. And then the worker quarters. So now we can go ahead and quarters and workers. Let's make it happen. I'm not sure if we already have the possibility. Yeah, prefabricated walls. We're going to need to have access to that. And we're going to have to keep an eye out, of course, on also the capability of how we are utilizing the rebars, because if we suddenly find ourselves without this resource, we're going to be kind of screwed. So, the train has arrived, which is great, and that means we're going to be able to start building tunnels to start actually producing gold. So we're gonna need gold as well. Unfortunately, there's no way of getting around it. How's this? So 78 days, that gives us a crap ton of time to accommodate for production. But we gotta make sure that we're gonna like actually do things. And we're gonna have some resources prepared. Food rations. Yeah, we're gonna need to get the research for that. So we're gonna need a cantina, and so soldiers' quarters. I'm not really sure if we're gonna be able to make the canteen without the lab. Sometimes it's like multiple things need to be done in order for us to have access to this stuff. But if we're gonna be able to do this, then we are gonna be able to spend some money in order to acquire provisions and in order for us to get in more people. But okay, let's see. Quarters. Workers, we don't have the food rations, so we're gonna require the cantina no matter what. So let's build the cantina right underneath. It's gonna require people so that they are capable of actually like gaining or turning the gold into the food rations, since we are not growing our own food. We're gonna be able to do storage. Then we're going to be able to go into the warehouse, and then we can do the resource recovery, so that eventually if we would somehow decide that, I don't know, let's say this thing can be removed, we get the maximum out of it. So it really seems like they have removed the portions of these things. So like last time when I played this, the most unfortunate thing happened, and it was that I was able to research in the second or third tier. The second, basically, where is it? Chemical plant, code breaking. We were like here already, and we were able to get the where is it? Artillery, iron ore, copper ore, water pump, training center, ammunitions, resource recovery, gold exchange, advanced production, tank, reinforced, small self-propelled tank, code breaking, communication. I don't know, there's additional tunnel. Yeah, I was able to get this all the way up in third tier. And so basically what happened is that here is gonna be the next tunnel. And I had like one square or one tile which was just like adjacent to the damn thing. And basically what happened was that it prevented me, due to that one tile of tunnel, to literally 2, 4, 6, 7... to literally like build the second tunnel, because there was one tile of tunnel. So that was just like totally weird. So hopefully we're gonna be able to actually avoid such a fiasco this time. We can go with metallurgy, which is awesome. Still have plenty of gold, so resource recovery would be quite nice. We're gonna definitely need the steel mill and the production line in order for us to actually gain access to some of these fancier things. You need food rations. So So these guys are gonna be responsible for those. That's gonna give us access to more people. And the question is, yeah, food ration 70. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 5 kilos per 10 kilos. So that's quite decent exchange. We get double the food for the money. But we seriously are going to be forced to eventually like upgrade these things. So prefabrication of the walls in order to ensure faster recovery of resources is going to be kind of crucial. Having the stone production therefore fully running is going to be absolutely crucial. And eventually when we get like the better equipment to mine out the resources, we're going to be able to do it in bulk and faster and like do multiple resources at once. But there tends to be kind of screwy mechanic regarding the priority as to what gets pulled out first. So we're going to have to mess around with that and keep an eye out on the rebars. Otherwise, it's going to kind of affect how much prefabricated walls we are capable of producing. We definitely want to get more of the food in here so that we have more workers and I can build more of these mines. Because initially, it really doesn't matter how you do it. You just need to get your hands on as much stuff as possible. And having access to especially concrete can be quite useful. Because if you are producing concrete or cement, this thing can be actually shipped out to the front. So if you go here, currently we have absolutely nothing, right? Like the front lines are far away, far away. We are all happy, but soon enough, like if you have those 45 days, it can be done, but you're going to be eventually in this weird situation where you're going to be scraping for just about anything to ship out so that the allies are not destroying your location, because apparently there's not even some sort of animation where like the people or the forces would try to storm inside and kill everything. It just, once they reach this location, it's game over and you're done for it. So that's kind of sad. And it really sucks, and it did happen to me, so I would prefer to avoid it if possible. Okay, so you are doing that. We are still falling behind. Intelligence so far, oh man, we're not producing anything, so we're gonna need actually not research center, we're gonna require a lab in order to do this. So that's why we're gonna need to get the science quarters and the laboratory, because this thing is gonna actually increase the output of science that the scientists are capable of performing. So a lab is gonna be absolutely crucial, and we already had our first sabotage, so that's annoying a little bit, but okay. Lab is going to be researched, and once we get the lab up and running, we're going to be able to get the sciencey points to get the resource recovery. Weapons production line can be done. A steel mill, yeah, that will be done after the resource recovery. Especially useful things are like not just resource, but also like efficiency increase. That thing can be absolutely amazing for you, especially in the early game. Quarters, workers quarters, build it. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, get it done. We have 535 gold, but these transports are actually going to be bringing in gold, so it's kind of okay. We can increase the number of workers in the cantina to actually make sure this is okay. And food rations, we need more, so once these are in, we're gonna be able to upgrade this and get even more people. So preferably I would go for stone, so these deposits here seems quite nice. Don't really have too many stone deposits in the direction in which I decided to dig. Would have to go quite out of our way in order to get to these deposits, so whatever is close by I would prefer to be able to access. So a tunnel such as this one, so that we can have a mine, would be actually okay. Because it's 2 tiles of stone within it, so there's going to be quite a lot. Here's over a ton of stone that can be extracted. We can then build like another mine for just coal. Iron can be accessible here. So because we are able to accommodate like 5 people per mine. How much stone? 810. So this is better option for us to upgrade, all things considered. Gold is okay. This is okay. So this is already upgraded, huh? Once again, it's up to the food rations to keep us afloat. One, we are kind of affected by all this, so 180 kilos, okay. We need to do the scientific quarters, and then we need to do a lab. Steel profile, 60 kilos. Yeah, we have only 35 kilos. That can be problematic. And we also need to build stuff for the infrastructure. We don't have cement. So power generator and also the water pump is gonna be required. Gotta keep an eye out on these two, especially. I would really hate to somehow screw up early in the game, and that can totally happen. Totally plausible. Like, look, we would not be able to make scientist quarters because we did not have access to water. That would really suck. So for water, we will require those steel profiles. I'm not really sure if they will be shipped in. That can have negative effect on us. If we won't be able to start producing surplus of this, it can definitely affect us negatively. Production line can be researched. We're gonna need the steel mill and the production line. And resource recovery is kind of killing me here. We don't have enough science in order to get the steel mill. Prefabricate, no resources to dig. So we have already mined out what seems to be like a copper deposit. So how much copper did we actually mine out? 85 kilos. That's really small number. Technically, we can build the mine here. Make up for the loss of production. This is coal, and this is iron, this is gold. There's quite a lot of it, as is. This stone deposit would be quite nice to boost. But I would rather actually have people dedicated to these specific things. So let's go and boost the stone production in here. The more stone we can crush, the more cement we can make, the more other things we can do. But I gotta keep an eye out on these profiles, because that's quite the pickle now. Prefabricated walls, we're gonna need 20 pieces. We can make 1, but we're gonna need to make this 3 more times, and for that we will require cement. So a lot of stone will need to be shipped in order for them to crush it. As we require 20 kilos for 15 kilos of crushed stone, that can have negative effect. Because we need more in order to create less. I don't understand how. This loss of 5 kilos is just interesting to me. But I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to observe. Okay, so production line can be built here or right next door. It's okay. We're gonna need to accommodate workers to it anyhow, so we're gonna see the effects as is. A lab would be awesome, but we don't have access to things and we don't have recipes researched. So this is what we will require to have. Hold on. Because the sabotages are happening. So we need to research the efficient metal processing so that we have iron plates, steel profiles, cables, pipes, rebars, and then we're gonna have to research the other stuff, but we also kind of need the steel mill in order to have the iron ore processed into actual iron. So there's still some things which need to be done, but now I kind of... Okay, steel profiles are gonna be shipped in. So once the steel profiles have came in, we are able to build the lab. Once we build the lab, this is gonna boost our science output. Prefabricated walls, we can try to make cement. Wow, we are getting sabotage after sabotage here. So come on, 2 minutes, steel profiles, I want to see it. I need to dedicate eventually personnel to that location. Workers, food rations. 7. Intelligence, lab. Wham, build it. Right next to the cantina, doesn't matter. Weapon production, that's cute. Efficient metal processing without cement. Not really gonna happen. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Quarters, workers, build it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Upgrade it. This is now gonna be allowing us to research some of this stuff. So resource recovery, steel mill, and now we have to research all this. So gold will be unfortunately the first thing, or we can go with the efficient metal processing since we have the resources. I have to pause the game. Stop a sabotage again. 71 days, so that's still quite a lot. Okay, we're getting quite a lot of things, including money, so that's great. Things I would like to do is potentially upgrade another mine. Like, we can upgrade potentially the gold mine if we would have the prefabricated walls, but I want to keep an eye out on our rebars. We have 130 kilos. So if we do this and we build those 2, that's gonna get us to 100. And we have access now to these things, but unfortunately, I will need to make sure that the iron spiel which we have currently is... Okay, so that's a-okay. So we can make these. We cannot make this yet. This we will need to have wood processing research in order to be able to make the cable spools. The iron plates are going to be absolutely crucial for production of just about anything. We can make rebars. So let's make it happen. And how many workers do we have access to? Did we upgrade one of these mines? Iron... Coal, this is gold. So theoretically, this can be upgraded because eventually we're going to get to the point where producing our own gold is going to be absolutely crucial. We're not going to see influx of so many resources. Like right now, we have actually decent support coming in. So that's all fine and dandy. What we need to really build is the steel mill. So for that, we will require those prefabricated walls. Iron plates, iron plates, iron plates. How many do you need in order to be upgraded? 40 kilos. Wow. Yowza. You can actually make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will give us quite the lovely boost to our science. Okay, so gold, that's gonna only require the sciencey points. So then we're gonna go with the iron ore because that's gonna be priority for us. And we're gonna have to make sure that we have sufficient stockpiles of the coal ore. Where is it? 310 kilos. Okay, that's great. Iron 160, copper 178, crushed stone. Okay, that's actually quite nice, so we can turn it into cement. Let's make 2 of these suckers and the rebars. And now we are out of the cable spules, so we're gonna have to start smelting those. And for that, we seriously require the steel mill, which can be placed right over here. And I don't mind having like all these production buildings right next to one another, because eventually what's going to happen is that you're going to be literally like stuck on those and just waiting for them to be finished so that you can make thing or two. So we can speed up this. I want to get the workers in. We do have 6 of them. I'm fully aware of it. But I want more. Question is, do we have the rations? We do. Reason is also we're going to require people for the steel mill. So having those prefabricated walls is gonna be useful, and also production, infrastructure, water pump, and the power generator. These boys have been done. Now we can do iron. We're gonna need the iron spules, so we're gonna have to craft those. Then we can do like weapon, or let's go with copper first. We do have the money, so we can theoretically research the weapon production. Hold on. Stop, sabotage. Steel mill. Build it. 1, 2, 1. And once the steel mill gets up and running, you're gonna see some real fun stuff, because we're gonna start burning through our resources like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so coal deposits, great. Question is where to build it. I would probably 620. This one seems like the best one to start off with. So a mine up in here. We can theoretically start mining out uranium. Just dedicate like a small portion of personnel towards it. We don't require specific research. We just need to build the mine, and they're gonna handle the rest. So here we have quite a lot of coal, so I would go ahead and upgrade it if we would have enough prefabricated walls, so that 10 people can be actually dedicated to that purpose. And let's keep on smelting stuff. So this location is gonna have to be busy. Prefabricated walls. How is that situation looking? We can do the upgrade for the lab. we can get some provisions, 2, 4, 6, 7, so that we can then build more worker quarters. They're going to be primarily at the start the means in which you are going to be able to get stuff done. Trying to see if any of these guys have less workforce in them. 6 out of 10. Okay. I want to first upgrade this and then cram in the personnel. Theoretically, we can do one guy up here, and then these 10 guys are going to go into the coal mine. So smelter is gonna be running probably until we completely exhaust our deposits of coal and everything. And I kind of found out also a weird thing that, like, eventually you're gonna have to start building these additional storage units, despite the fact that, like, this one storage is completely fine. It is only full until certain percentage, because certain resources as if would refuse to be stored in this storage. So it's like your production is running, but because you don't have the adequate storage units, it will just refuse to be stored away, and then it might potentially give off the effect as if the production is running and the units are being done, but actually nothing is being stored. So I would prefer to avoid something like that. So here we will require iron spule. 50 kilos is what we're going to require in order for us to get the wood processing, and we're going to need the wood processing in order to get the cable so that we can do weapon components and then start making pistols or rifles. Quarters, workers, build them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Food rations, we have 10 kilos. That's not gonna last too long. So as you can see, we have enough gold right now, 600 something. So that's okay. The production here, I will not need this much copper consistently, so I want to make it like an exchangeable production. The infinity production is like all over the damn place, because then you just dedicate the structure to producing one thing continuously and it cannot produce anything else, so it's not the most effective use, but of course it can help out. So what do I know? Actually, the plan here was to preserve the stuff. Okay, can put down workers here. We can upgrade the coal mine and dedicate 10 people here. Can then put one more person over here. Come on, finish. We need the additional coal. So there we go, 10 guys. I'm also like taking a look at how many resources are left in there, because that will also affect if it's worthwhile the actual investment. Can dedicate 5 guys to mine the uranium. By the time we will require it, it's gonna be like till tier 3 or for us to reach tier 3, so not really that crucial. I just want to queue up a crap ton of these things to be done. And can make more workers' quarters. Potentially get our hands on more iron, because we are not producing as much as I would like to believe. Yeah, so if we were at the 40 5 days, we would be down quite a lot, and you would feel the pressure much earlier. I want to increase this so the infrastructure is gonna have to accommodate for it. Seems like we have mined out all the resources. Let's seek out our personnel. And production and the mine. And we can demolish this one. Build a tunnel like so. And build the mine over here. That way we are tapping into these two tiles which were there. Have 16 guys available. Quite a lot of iron. Not that much copper, I assume. So how much? 80 kilos only. That's really low. And 6 guys, 800 something. Theoretically, that could work for an upgrade. It's fairly close also to where our base is, so extracting these resources is gonna be crucial. Because there's this thing where you like cannot build over the resources. They first have to be extracted, so it can eventually like affect what you are building where, because you aren't able to get rid of certain obstacles. We have that one guy who I would like to accommodate to, I don't know, Cantina, just so that they are there. 2, 4, 6, 7. So that we have the rations. This is being done. Science. Iron plates, 50 kilos. We need the prefabricated walls in order to have the efficient wood processing. So these two are gonna get us there. So let's speed it up, get us to the necessary number, and start processing wood so that we can start making cables, and so that we can start making the weapon components and get closer to the second tier. So now we're going to be able to come here and we're going to be able to make like these things, the cable thingies, and also make the ammunition or weapon crates. And these M kinds are going to be quite useful. These smaller ones are going to be used for grenades. So just to be on the safe side. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 2. So we have access to these things. The iron plates are going to be useful too. And we're gonna have to queue up also cables. So you can already see why eventually having like 2 of these production lines is gonna be quite useful, because once you like queue up a crap ton of blueprints, it's gonna take a while to get it all done. And it's good to have like a surplus of these things. Smelter. Okay, you're gonna take your time making all this happen. 5, 10, 770, 92. Seems like we have extracted whatever the hell was in here. So theoretically, I don't recall what was there as a deposit. That's kind of a problem. Quite a decent stockpile of coal here, I might say. This copper deposit is quite laughable. It's going to be soon depleted as is. The gold deposit, which we are messing around with, though, is quite decent, so I would think upgrading it would actually be worth it, so that we can accommodate these guys in there. Stop the sabotage. Remove. Remove and remove. God, I love the fact that we now have such a basic function. I would tunnel towards here so that we can mine out all of this good stuff. Even though it's like a tiny portion of copper, it's still 100 kilos. And if we are going to be able to turn it into cables, I'll still take it. Two, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's being done. And now dedicate the 5 fellas in there to work their butts off. Now we have access to the weapons production line, so that's gonna start to affect the actual front lines, because we're gonna be able to produce something besides cement that is able to go there, and we would have to ship out enormous amounts of cement just to give us like a day or so, so it's not even worth sending out there in the first place. Having stockpiles of the ammunition crates is going to be useful, because in those crates is where we're going to be storing like artillery ammunition, rifles, submachine guns, machine guns, and so on and such. So all sorts of useful stuff. We need iron plates and cables. So iron plates are these suckers, and cables. So this thing, all these guys are working their asses off, so let's just speed up the time. Wait a little bit, hold on. The sabotage can be quite bad. Especially if you would lose like suddenly 10 guys or something. That can have absolutely devastating effects. This has quite a lot of uranium ore, so I'm really looking forward to if we will be ever able to utilize it properly. This has a lot of gold, and I'm assuming these 2 floors beneath it are going to be the same. This one coal deposit is going to be soon extracted, so we're going to have to look for additional coal, but there is quite a lot of it still over here, so that can be all extracted. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then we don't have coal, so that's apparently showing the shortcomings that we are facing. Iron plates and cables. We are missing 60 meters and 20 kilos of iron plates. So this place needs to hurry the hell up. That increased efficiency would definitely help us out, but that is later down the line, so we still have to wait. Wow, quite a lot of sabotages are going on. 470 something kilos of that, and unfortunately I got stuck again. 1, 2, 1, 2. These are being produced. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We received a shipment of goodies. Next time we're gonna get 200 kilos of gold, wood, and steel profiles. That's all nice. Keep it coming. Okay, that's all working quite well. Are we there yet, or iron plates are necessary? So iron plates, cables, iron plates, cables, iron plates. Pipes are going to be turned into cannons, so those are going to be useful. Gotta keep an eye out on this coal situation. It's kind of worrying that we are already so early in game, being kind of blocked by having like a lack of it. No resources to dig. So what did we extract? No, this is actually fine. Seems like one of the coal deposits have gone dry. 122 kilos. So as I said, we're gonna dig in here. It's actually quite a lot of it. We're gonna have to build a tunnel in order for us to have the mine constructed above. And all this coal is gonna be eventually mined out. This is quite a lot. This is 1.3 tons of it. You need 1,000 kilos in order to get a ton, in case you don't use the metric system. So now you know more, I guess. 933 kilos, that's also quite a lot. So these are actually quite good deposits of resources. And if we would be able to like get another quarters with the workers and upgrade that location, we would be able to upgrade that mine and get even more coal out. So how are we looking? Finally getting there. We're still gonna be forced to research both of these things in order for us to actually reach second tier. But we're making decent time, I guess, before 1 hour, and that's including that introductory nonsense of mine. So quite decent. We're gonna need the prefabricated walls, however, in order to actually make sure that that can be done. So 10 workers. Upgrade, please. So if I understand it correctly, we're gonna have 5 guys to spare, so theoretically we can mine out this iron or just go for another mine, because 5 workers is exactly how many we would be able to accommodate. So production and the mine and the bam. This tile does not have any coal, so let's build the mine directly next to the elevator itself. That way 921 kilos, 1.2 tons, and God knows how many more kilos are gonna be inside here, are gonna be able to be shipped out through this one elevator. So yeah, we are talking like 1.8 tons just from these two, plus 1.2. So 3 tons of coal are just in these 3 mines. So that's actually quite awesome. And I'm hoping that's gonna help us produce the metal at quite the fast pace. One. These are all being produced. Prefabricated walls. We're gonna need those. In order to get the weapons production line. And we're gonna require the actual goddamn blueprints for both the pistol and both the rifles for us to be actually able to utilize the weapons facility for anything whatsoever. So again, speeding up the game in order to get closer and closer and closer to our goals. One. 2. And 1. Cable spools. Yeah, we're missing these things. So we're making all sorts of stuff in here. This needs to be removed because we did not have access to that. Once this is done, we're going to be able to store a lot of these things. So crushed stone, and sometimes what happens in this game is like the order of these things gets all messed up, and so you have like at the bottom crushing stone, at the top you have cement, and then in the middle prefabricated walls. I'm not sure if it's related to how you research these things, but you aren't able to switch the order, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Kind of. Poquito. Poquito, poquito. Slow it down. Stop the sabotage right here. Quite close to the entry point. Interesting. No resources to dig, so the copper mine has once again been utilized completely. Can we like demolish more tiles simultaneously or not at all? I'm just trying to go for the copper, which is why I keep removing these tunnels over and over. So let's build it like so. And then we're gonna build this copper mine, and it's gonna tap also into the iron deposit here. But we're still gonna have access to copper, which is important. Currently, we are looking at 73 kilos of copper at our disposal. Pistols, but barely produce any pistols whatsoever because they're just not worth it. The MK40s or the MP40s, they do tend to actually help out, so I do tend to produce those. But once you get to the second tier and you're able to start manufacturing chemicals, and especially the grenades, now that's a game changer. That's when you are truly gonna start seeing some difference, and you're gonna be actually able to start actually shifting and gaining yourself some days. So right now we're still not even close to the 45-day mark, and trust me, if we would be actually playing at the hard difficulty, I would be crapping my pants already trying to figure out what would be the first thing I can manufacture in order to ship it out to the front so that I can change the outcome of the war. We're gonna need to dedicate people over here. Holy crap, why did I produce wait, no, this is weapons production. Yeah, so we're gonna need to produce the weapon components, and then we're gonna be able to make like the pistols and so on and such. But first, of course, we need to research rifles, and then we will be able to get to the next tier. But first we need iron plates and the cables. So cables are a-okay, iron plates are not okay. I don't even know how many medium boxes I have already stored, but you can already see how long this queue here is. So we're trying to make these cements, try to make some of this. Workers' quarters would be nice. We do have the money, so let's spend it. The initial 5 workers are gonna be all dedicated to weapons part manufacturing. It's kind of weird that some of these structures only take in 4 people, and you are given like 5 workers. It kind of throws off the whole damn thing, especially after you build those initial 4 mines or so, and you try to then start producing your initial concrete. It's a little annoying. A little bit. Sabotage. Sabotage with 10 guys in it for stone. That would be quite bad. 15 guys are dedicated just to coal. We have 2 stone mines, 1 gold. We have quite a lot of coal actually being mined out. How are we looking? Cables are the only thing which we are currently missing, huh? So theoretically, we can, this has already started production, so we cannot cancel it, which is unfortunate. But okay. Let's, switch up the production a tiny bit here. It's good to, like, queue up these things one at a time, so you go like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and so on and such. So it's always making something different. I'm not sure if I need that many prefabricated walls. We're given 10 workers here. Iron ore is done primarily, so hold on. Copper ore is done primarily, so that's okay. This gold mine, this stone mine, this stone mine. Until we research the rifles, we cannot go over here. It's gonna take a while for us to get to the 220 points of science, obviously, because we are producing it 10 points at a time. So we're gonna get a shipment of another goodies. We need to fill this up in order to get to the second tier. And once we get to like the second tier, here we have, for example, the uranium for the automated mining, then the advanced mine. This is quite awesome because that's that massive machine which is able to occupy like 8 tiles of resources and mine it all out at once and do it much faster than like 10 guys in the mine would be able to do. No resources to dig. So let's close this mine. Problem is I don't recall what was mined out in that location. Stone, we can go for gold. Although we do have gold, I don't really need to upgrade the uranium, so screw that. I would probably try to focus on like getting rid of these locations. And probably getting more stone. Weapons, we can make some of these. And we can already start making like MP40s. So we're gonna be able to start producing something besides the weapon components. Food rations, how much do we have? We have small empty boxes, 60, 21 of the medium ones. So obviously going a little bit crazier with them would not be the worst thing ever. Copper is quite low, but we're only using it right now for the cable production. So the production line is not gonna stop. The cement production is a little annoying. That mine has been shut down, so that's okay. Iron deposit small here. But we have like 15 guys who need work. Theoretically, we can put 2 mines up in here and start tapping into the copper and the iron here. Because we're gonna require a crap ton of it as is, but also like having additional co-workers would be great. So I'm trying to think if one of these mines can be upgraded. If there's like 800 coal still to be extracted, then I'm game. 650 is a little bit less effective. So let's do this. Let's build a mine for the iron here. It's gonna accommodate 5 of the 15. And this upgraded is gonna accommodate another 5. So now all 3 of these mines have 10 guys inside. Now theoretically we can do these types of mines like this. So we will have like 3 mines up in here right next to our weapons production facility. And we can at least start producing these rifles. I'm not going to be really making pistols. It's better to use the small crates for shipments of grenades. They actually do tend to affect the outcome of the war. And now that we have all of that, we need 500 gold, believe it or not. So actually, we need to smelt some, because the next shipment is gonna come in God knows when. Infrastructure is the power grid and the water. It's gonna fix this situation for us. I don't want to buy therefore more food. It's taking me a little bit longer to get to these things because I know that I have more time, but by the time we will actually start shipping out thingies, the positive effect of having some extra time to spare is going to be that we're going to be able to ship out in larger quantities and items that will actually have an effect on the outcome, because eventually when we will have like proper weapons manufacturing, the difference is that sending out like one 88mm gun will give you a day, while on the other hand sending out a crap ton of cement is not gonna give you that much time. Look at this, 6 of these MP40s is gonna give you 0.3 days. So imagine how many of them you need to manufacture just to buy yourself any type of time. And that's why eventually creating the the actual grenades through the second tier and having access to the chemicals is much more effective, because the grenades are cheaply manufactured in larger quantity, and they are just therefore much more efficient in buying you the time. So yeah, we will obviously have to experiment with that once we get there. So if you want to see more after the 1.5 patch has been released, let me know through the comment section. And yeah, hopefully I will see you all in the comments or the next one. Sorry that this episode is being launched so late after like the 1.1 version, but I had all this pre-recorded footage which I wanted to make sure that it will make it to the channel. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Other than that, I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you all at the next one. Thank you all for watching, and bye bye for now.